The Ramsey Campbell deities are fictional supernatural entities created for the Cthulhu Mythos universe of shared fiction by British horror writer Ramsey Campbell. Dowloth. The image of Dowloth was not shapeless, but so complex that the eye could recognize no describable shape. There were hemispheres and shining metal, coupled by long plastic rods. The rods were of a flat grey color, so that he could not make out which were nearer. They merged into a flat mass from which protruded individual cylinders. As he looked at it, he had a curious feeling that eyes gleamed from between these rods. But wherever he glanced at the construction, he saw only the spaces between them. Ramsey Campbell. The render of the veils. Dowloth. The render of veils, or the parter of veils, dwells in dimensions beyond the three we know. His astrologer priests are said to be able to see the past and the future, and even how objects extend into and travel between different dimensions. Dowloth's indescribable shape causes viewers to go mad at the sight of him. Thus, he must be summoned in pitch-black darkness, if not held within some kind of magical containment. He continues to expand and expand, perhaps even at an infinite rate. Those enveloped by the god are transported to utterly bizarre and remote worlds, usually perishing as a result. Dowloth's worship is rare on Earth. One request that can be made to Dowloth, magically contained, is to view things as they really are, not as our veiled senses perceive them. The sight is more than one can bear. Ehort, god of the labyrinth, first appeared, in person, in Ramsey Campbell's short story, Before the Storm, 1980. However, the being was first mentioned in Campbell's The Franklin Paragraphs, 1973, and Cold Print, 1969. Ehort lives within a network of tunnels deep beneath the Severn Valley. In England, it appears as a bloated blanched oval, supported on a myriad of fleshless legs, with eyes continuously forming in its gelatinous body. When it captures a human, it offers the captive a bargain. If the captive refuses, Ehort rams the victim violently to death. If the captive accepts the offer, the horror implants its immature brood inside the victim's body. The brood will eventually mature and kill their host. According to the revelations of Glaraki, after the fall of humanity, Ehort's brood will be born into light. A and Hort are nouns of the modern German language. A meaning egg and Hort meaning horde. Glaraki. See Glaraki. Growth. A 19th century British cult believed in a comet god who sang to the stars and planets as it passed by them in its orbit. They said it destroyed those worlds it passed by waking up demons or ancient gods who slept on each world. Kevin A. Ross. The music of the spheres. Growth. The harbinger resembles a small, rust-colored planet, a moon with a single, gigantic red eye which it can close to avoid detection. Growth drifts throughout the universe singing its siren song. The music of the spheres. As it swings by a planet, any great old one, or outer god sleeping there is awakened by the song. This usually results in the extinction of all life on the planet, or perhaps even the utter destruction of the planet itself. Growth is believed to be responsible for the periodic mass extinctions that wiped out 90% of all life on Earth, including the extinction of the dinosaurs at the end of the Cretaceous era. It may also have caused the destruction of the planet Shagai, the homeworld of the intelligent insect-like Shan. For this reason, Growth is also known as Nemesis, or the Death Star, named after the Nemesis hypothesis, first proposed by American astronomers David Raup and Jack Sepkoski. Appears in The Tugging, The Disciples of Cthulhu, Door Books, 1976. The Horror Under Warrendown. The Horror Under Warrendown was created by British author Ramsey Campbell for his short story of the same name. 1995. The horror, which lives under Campbell's invented village of Warren Down in Campbell's Seven Valley setting, resembles one of the giant cephalic statues of Easter Island, the Moai, albeit one completely covered with vegetation. The plants, however, do not grow separately from the statue, but are in fact part of the horror itself. It can extend wine-like tentacles to capture a victim or to give a communion offering to a worshipper. The horror possesses a strange mutagenic ability. Anyone who partakes of its flesh, i.e., the vegetables that grow from its plant-like overgrowth, will eventually transform into a grotesque, rabbit-like mutant. These mutants worship and serve the horror, and are dedicated to tricking others into joining their cult by offering them fresh vegetables harvested from it. While the horror is unnamed in Campbell's story, it was given the name of the Green God in the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. A similar plant-like deity named Ealor is mentioned in the short story Correlated Contents by James Ambule. Like the horror, Ealor dwells in a large cavern deep beneath a small farming village in the Severn Valley, and possesses vine-like tentacles which can be used for capturing prey or offering communal sacrifices. Both of these deities receive brief mention in the multi-volume grimoire Revelations of Glaraki Yagalinak. See Yagalinak.